Overground, underground, no wombles to be seen. It's Talk of the Town, episode 15. Yes, welcome from myself and Harry to Plough Lane, where Crawley Town are AFC Wimbledon's first ever FA Cup opponents here at their new stadium in Plough Lane. Something to look forward to. I know the fans at home are looking forward to it. We're certainly looking forward to it. Hopefully it will be a monumental clash here to see who battles and gets through to the third round of the FA Cup. Of course, normally you'd watch at home on iFollow, but not today as it is FA Cup day. BBC are covering this game. You need to go onto the BBC iPlayer or their app. I think you may even be able to do it through the red button through your TV. So you can watch via BBC digital platform. So do that from 1:30 in just under an hour's time, so you can get the game live from 1:30. Of course, whilst you're watching live, you can grab yourself a Ballers. The match day offer is going once again. Burger, chips and a drink for just £5. That is collection only. So if you can get yourself down to the People's Pension Stadium, you can grab hold of that offer, or you can go online, Uber Eats or Just Eat to grab that good offer. Another good offer was made by our friends at the filming company in round one when we went to Torquay. Yeah, nice support there from Nick at the filming company. They sponsored that game, sponsored the sleeve for that game. We're very grateful to them for doing so. And they offered the chance for someone to guess the score correctly, and they could win a signed shirt. Obviously, nobody guessed 6-5 to Crawley, but they have kindly said, look, they're gonna make sure the prize goes to someone. So they have decided that the winner, the closest guess, I think they guessed 4-3, was Dan Maguire. So Dan Maguire wins a Tom Nichols match-worn shirt from that game. Congratulations to him. Obviously, Tom scored a hat-trick in that game. So Dan Maguire, well done to you. You win a shirt from the Torquay game. I'll be in touch with you in the week and we will arrange collection of that. But well done to you. If you entered but didn't win, don't panic. Our sponsors of the sleeve for our round 2 game here this afternoon is the Ryan Cantor Club, and they have offered an opportunity for someone to win a signed shirt from today's game. Whoever gets man of the match after today's game, their shirt will be given to one lucky viewer at home. All you need to do is guess the score correctly to enter the draw for that. On whatever feed you're watching, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, however you're watching today's show, just comment the score prediction up until kickoff, and if you guess correctly, you will be entered into the draw to win a signed shirt from today's man of the match. But there's more. Can you believe it, Harry? It's a long I'm running out of breath here. There is more. Enter that competition anyway, and I'm going to give away to, even if you don't get the correct, everyone who enters will enter a draw to win 2 copies of Football Manager 21. Ooh! Prizes here on Talk of the Town. So correct guesses go into the draw to win the signed shirt from today's man of the match. Everyone else goes into the draw to win 2 copies of Football Manager 21. Huge thank you to our friends at the Ryan Cantor Club for sponsoring today's sleeve. Harry,
well, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?
I'm off for a sit down. I'm a bit worn out after that. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this. It's a unique one. I think when you come somewhere against a club, I like to think we consider that we've got history with them. Maybe they don't necessarily see that. Yeah. But I think when you're at a club kind of like us, you kind of grasp onto little things. And in my opinion, we have something.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems to be like a mutual dislike. I don't know what. I wouldn't go as far as it's a rivalry, but it seems to be a little bit from obviously when
we went through a comfortable breakup.
Yeah. the whole Danny Kedwell thing. It was
the t-shirts.
The t-shirts. So it seems like there is a little bit, which makes this entire very interesting. Obviously, adding to that is Ollie Palmer playing.
Exactly.
Spent a couple of years with us and then joined AFC Wimbledon in the summer. I'm not sure whether he starts yet. We've not had the Wimbledon team sheet in, but adds another little interesting aspect to today's game.
Plus slap on a win gets you in the third round, which I think that any club at our level, even League One teams and below us, you're always wanting that that one season just to get into the third round. And hopefully beyond, because we've gone a bit stale, I think, in the FA Cup in the last 3 or 4 years. So
we had a couple of years, didn't we? Where we were 5th round, 2 years.
We got our money's worth, and then it slowed down. So it'd be nice to, I don't think we can even be close really to calling ourselves favourites here. We're going as underdogs, so kind of the flip side of the Torquay game. but maybe that will play into our hands.
Well, we do have, I'm going to call him Crawley Town historian, or just font of all knowledge, John Barnett. He will be coming on the show later on to talk about the FA Cup and Crawley's history within it, so we'll look forward to that. We'll have him on very shortly. But first, now let's take a look at how AFC Wimbledon beat Barrow to get to this stage of the competition.
It's the first ever FA Cup meeting between Barrow and Wimbledon. It's the Dons that have started well. It's a decent looking ball in as well. They just can't clear it, and the shot wide from Nightingale. Thomas. Here he is once again, the fullback, looking to go long. It's a decent layup as well from Ollie Palmer. Madoni over on that right-hand side. Chislett waits inside the penalty area. Palmer as well is towards Chislett with a header down. Well, they're claiming handball or a corner. Don't think they get either. Rodoni with a corner. To the edge of the area. Woodyard will take a touch. Now it's with Chislett to lift back in. And the header over from Palmer. Big opportunity gone. Kay with a throw. This is Reed battling away. Dimitri Say. He's done well, he can curl in. Oh, he's just wide from the young Frenchman. Stabbed away. Barrow looked to counter. Blue shirts are streaming forward. Reed inevitably is one of them. Still Reed needs a little bit of help. Dimitri Say sizing up the shot. Oh, he's in the post. So close for Barrow. Palmer looks to try and hold this one up. He's done well. Rodoni, he's done really well to control. They're backing away for a second. Wimbledon getting players forward. Rodoni still motoring inside the penalty area here. Chislett to control. It's a good block. Wimbledon with a corner. Flacked out a little. Chislett, oh, over the crossbar. Another chance gone. Alexander. Yellow shirts in advanced positions. Still Alexander. Thomas to get the cross in. Oh, that's comfortable. Oh, he should have been. It nearly went over the line. Taylor. This is Reed. Good hit. Tanev at the second attempt. It's another long ball inside the area. Cleared for Hurd to try and guide back in. It's not the best. Might get a second opportunity here, Barrow, though. Plenty have stayed forward. Can they make anything of it? That's the question. Hankis is free on the right-hand side. Oh, really good start from Zanev. Wimbledon look to clear. They've got space here and options. Chislett goes long. Pickett will take it down. What can he do? Rodoni. Comfortable save from Lillis, who makes no mistakes this time. He's to the edge of the area. Oh, just over the bar. Huge clearance. Flick on, not quite good enough, but Wimbledon will recycle. Guinness Walker to curl in. It's an awkward looking clearance, but a comfortable save. Shot wasn't quite good enough. Guinness Walker. Battles away, does enough against Quigley, and still comes forward. It's a determined run. Rodoni is trying to come in round the back, and it's pushed away. Nightingale strides forward from 40 yards plus. Oh, it's saved, but only just. Another long ball here. Wimbledon battle away. Pickett takes it down. Always a difficult chance, really. Leaning back. Looking header away. Thomas, though, is determined to make it his and does well. Likewise, Rodoni gets a little lucky. Tries to make the most of it, though. Still wriggling free! Wide of the target again. Barrow with a corner. Cleared away once more. Taylor tries to do something. It's back towards the corner taker. This is Josh Kay to try and curl in. Zanev manages to pounce. Quickly. Oh, and he's put it over, and that's the second penalty that Barrow have failed to convert. Rodoni to put Wimbledon into the next round, makes no mistake. Lillis goes the wrong way, and Wimbledon are through to the second round of the FA Cup. Crawley awaits a 0-0 draw here Wimbledon 4-2 winners on penalties.
Yes, obviously AFC Wimbledon, they're sneaking through on penalties on Thursday night. Harry, obviously we're playing a lot of games at the moment, aren't we? Like, it seems to be sort of churning out game after game, couple every week. Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon have played Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I think they probably play again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an advantage for us?
I think it's got to be. I think you have to take it, and especially the extra time. I think that probably more than anything, because I'd imagine they rotated the team for Thursday, probably in a sense built up a
made 8 changes,
team. A lot of them I'd imagine are featuring today. However, it's those players that have been involved in the extra time, so they would have. I think they stayed overnight in Barrow again on the Thursday night.
Yeah. Because I was thinking if they travelled back, they wouldn't be back till 5 in the morning.
So they can't be very intense in training. If they trained on Friday, would have trained yesterday, and that's it. So it's a very quick turnaround, which definitely favours us.
Yeah, obviously, and looking at us this afternoon, obviously we're having a lot of games. John's touched upon it recently about the injuries are starting to hit. Obviously, with so much football being played, you can tell by today's lineup it's a slightly different lineup to what we're used to. Let's just go through that lineup for everybody at home. In goal is Glenn Morris. Tom Dallison starts with Jordan Tunnicliffe and Tony Craig. In midfield, you've got Jack Powell and Danny Bullman comes into the side. Nick Cerula starts today. I think it's his first start for the Reds certainly in an FA Cup or the league. He might have played in some of the trophy games. And David Cisse starts as well. You've got Jake Hessenthaler, Max Waters, and Ashley Naderson. So a real change to the lineup. Just on the bench there we go: Joe McNerney, Ricky German, Tyler Frost, Sam Matthews, Sam Ashford, Brian Gallack and Stuart Nelson. What do you make of that?
Different. It's certainly not what we're expecting. It's probably not what people at home were expecting. I think Nichols will be a big loss, but by all accounts he had a little bit of a knock on Tuesday, played through the injury when maybe shouldn't have done. So we've forced that one in. We've changed the shape as well, so the 3 at the back. Really pleased to see Tunnicliffe.
We assume it's going to be a 3 at the back.
I think the way you read it out, I think is the way it's going to be. The 3 at the back. Cisse will come out onto the right, and Cerula would come out onto the left. So it's different. But I don't think that's necessarily something to get too worked up about. I think. Well,
I'm looking at it. At first, you think about the names who aren't in that side. So you think about the like of Josh Doherty's been there regularly.
Yeah.
You're missing Frankham, Davis at right back. You start thinking, oh blimey, look at all these players that are
going to fill the holes.
But actually, we're off the back of 2 defeats at home.
Yeah.
Actually, that probably doesn't do us any harm to freshen it up. And you're looking at the people coming in. Tom Dallison starts today. Last year, one of our best players.
I think fans have been quite vocal in asking kind of what Dallison's position at the club so far this season. He hasn't been involved too much. So I think, again, it's good that he gets his chance to come in with the games coming thick and fast. We're back on the road on Tuesday again.
Jordan Tunnicliffe comes back from injury, so that'll be a big boost for us.
They'll want to get minutes in the league on a personal level as well as for the team. So for them, it's, as well as you've got the glory of trying to get into the 3rd round of the Cup, as well with the games coming over the Christmas period, they want to get themselves into the team. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all to be changing up the lineup.
And another one, Danny Bullman comes into the side, obviously against his old side, in between Crawley spells.
I think they claim him as one of their own almost. And, when you look at that appearance statistic, I think you'll find where his loyalties lie. So yeah, it's great to have little stories involved like that. It's a shame Franklin's not involved. I know he would have been looking forward to playing.
Yeah, of course.
But the fact you've got Palmer on one side and Bully on our side, I think it makes for
and that experience coming in today with the likes of Nick Cerula coming in, you imagine he might be a bit nervous coming in, but that's raw youth, isn't it? Like, they won't know a lot about him. I mean, I don't know a lot about him, and I work for the club, so they won't know a lot about him. Someone like Bullman just being in there, just to steady the ship, calm. You've got Tony Craig in there.
Hessenthaler as well has got a lot of appearances under his belt. And what I like about Bullman and the way we can use him this season is that last season I felt towards the end of it we were running him into the ground a little bit. So I think a fresh Danny Bullman. Again, the age is irrelevant. He hasn't played many games. He'll be fit, but he's not going to be tired or anything like that. So I'm excited to see him come back into the team because we know exactly what he's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So slightly different setup for the Reds today, but an exciting one. Two forwards as well. We've got Waters and Naderson. There's certainly goals in this side, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out this afternoon. Loads of you are piling in with your score predictions. Please keep them coming. As I said at the start of the show, that anyone who guesses the score right goes into a draw to win a signed shirt from today's Man of the Match worn in today's game, and everybody else goes into jackpot to win 2 copies of the new Football Manager 21 that has come out only this week. So please keep them firing in, and we'll do those draws early next week and put the details out of the winners. We mentioned there about the experience of Tony Craig and Sam Gadsden and Tom Cameron. Caught up with Tony Craig in the week at training to have a chat about his settling into life at the People's Pension Stadium.
Hi everyone, I'm joined by Tony Craig for this week's edition of In Depth. Tony, well, first of all, look forward to Sunday's game. We now know it's Wimbledon and not Barrow. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, it's a great draw for us. Obviously, Wimbledon's got a brand new stadium, so it'd be nice to play at and everything like that. But again, it's a chance for us to get into the third round of the FA Cup. And like I said, Wimbledon are a good side. Obviously, played against them numerous times, and they're a good organised side. So it's got the ingredients of a good game. I
suppose the FA Cup's a competition that you're very much used to. What are your favourite memories in your career so far in the FA Cup?
For me personally, I've got an FA Cup suit at home. You know, obviously when Mill got back in the FA Cup final years ago, I was fortunate enough to be involved in the squad, not the matchday squad, but travelled up with them and every night. And a couple of seasons ago, playing in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Nice. So it's been some great occasions for us. For me personally, in the competition, it's a great competition to be involved in.
Wimbledon, rivals of the club. A lot of fans aren't the biggest Wimbledon fans, but I guess the lads will want to go and do everything they can for the fans, despite them not being in the stadium yet.
Oh yeah, no, we know what's coming up. We know what's expected of us, and it's one thing we've got to go there, do a good account of ourselves. We can't just turn up, because we know Wimbledon certainly be on it. They've obviously had the 120 minutes last night, so obviously we've got a bit less preparation than ourselves and that. But since we've come back since Tuesday, we've had a good couple of training sessions under our belts, and all looking forward to it.
And the game will be available on all BBC platforms on Sunday. The Reds fans had an amazing viewing last time out in the first round, I suppose. Probably less goals this time.
Oh yeah, no, it was a mad game. It's one of them as a spectator watching it. I suppose it was good, but playing in it, it wasn't nice to be involved in. But sometimes them games happen, but they're certainly behind us now, and we're looking forward to it on Sunday.
We'll get into the fan questions. Tony, on Instagram, I've kind of asked the fans to send in what they want to ask you. We'll just get into it now. Okay, Tony, time for some fan questions. We've also got a few questions from the lads who've just finished training. We'll start with the skipper, George Franklin, who says, "Who is the sloppiest car school member?" I take it it's a bit of an inside thing here.
Oh, it's one of them. Obviously, there's a few of us who are in the car school. We'll meet up in the morning and take turns to drive in. But Jack Powell, it's one of them. We have a strike system in the car.
Okay.
If you're late, leave something in the car, or a bit sloppy, you get a strike for it. And let's just say one thing, I think he's ahead by at least 10 or 12,
Wow.
He's certainly late a few times, and we have to catch up on the way in and that, but he certainly is the sloppiest one.
Is there like a forfeit at the end of the year for whoever finishes with the most points?
Yeah, no, there's a forfeit at Christmas. Whoever's got the most strikes has to treat the other ones to a meal, so I think Paley's got that one done, so I'm certainly looking forward to the meal, which is going to be paid by himself.
Christmas coming up, Tony. Obviously, we've got a question from Tom Nichols, who says, "The best Xmas do outfit you've ever seen." Now, I have seen the photo. We'll try and get it up on screen. Tony, what was this all about?
No, it was one of them a couple of seasons ago. We went to Newcastle, and on the Sunday it was a fancy dress. Myself, I dressed up as Father Christmas, because you had to pull out a letter of the alphabet out, and whichever letter you got, you had to get something with that letter. And I just remember my beard broke down and when I was coming down the lift, and I had the ump over that, so I'm in the reception trying to fix it. Next to it, and I turned round, all the boys are laughing. I'm thinking, what's happening here? Like, my fancy dress ain't that bad, it's just a normal one. Next one, and I'll turn around, I see Tom Nichols, fully Millwall kit, with Tony Craig on the back. He even had the coat of Mundial, shin pads on, he had my wig on as well. And it was funny as well, because 2 weeks before the Christmas do, I sort of changed my hairstyle a little bit.
Okay.
So the poor sod, he paid a bit of money to get the wig, which was the same as mine. Unfortunately, I changed it, but no, it was a great laugh, one which I'll be honest with you, honoured that he'd done it, and it was a great Christmas party.
Tony, the Christmas schedule coming thick and fast, so many games, but the Reds will just be trying to get as many points as they can.
Yeah, no, it's one of them, the old boring cliches. We've just got to take every game as it comes at the moment, and that starts on Sunday. in the FA Cup, and then we've got a good game coming up on Tuesday against Colchester and that. So it's one then we can't look too far ahead, and we just take every game as it comes because we've got a big squad here. Everyone's looking for minutes, and like I said, we've got a fully fit squad. Could be some good players there, and let's see where it takes us.
Okay, Tone, final question. What is Tony's most memorable day, asks Josh? Lifting the trophy at Wembley or your wedding day?
If my wife was here, I'd say one thing, but no, she ain't. But no, obviously, lifting the trophy at Wembley is a boyhood dream. It's one that even gives me goosebumps now thinking about it, and it was a great day from start to finish, and it's one of them which will live with me forever. So I certainly will be going for the lifting the trophy at Wembley over my wedding.
Tony, thank you very much. Hopefully more silverware this season for the Reds. We can really push on. Thanks a lot for talking, Tony.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome back to Plough Lane, where we are joined now by BBC TV commentator,
national commentator.
Obviously, Gary and Ken will begin the commentary, I believe, on the BBC national platform.
What a treat.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Going national, Gary. You finally made it.
Who knows where it might lead?
Yeah.
The third round, hopefully.
Listen, I've been waiting for this to lead somewhere. Yeah, I'm still here, not getting paid. No, Gary, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I'm assuming you've had a chance to look at the lineup today.
I have.
What do you make of it?
Interesting, I think. I mean, there's obviously you might have expected some changes after back-to-back defeats. You might have expected some changes to line up and combat the way that Wimbledon play. You half expected Wimbledon to make changes. They've not had long to turn things around after a long journey back from Barrow and a game that went the whole distance.
We're live. We're broadcasting live. Thanks.
Excellent.
Asking us to wear a mask. So, go on, Gary. Carry on.
That's all right. I can do it like this.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I think the
Clips of the season, that is.
I think the three central defensive thing is a big thing for Crawley today, and the opportunity. Cisse obviously back after his one-match suspension is great, and I think a great opportunity for Nick Cerula as well. We spoke about him last week and getting his chance and finally getting his opportunity today to show what he's all about. I think Danny Bullman coming into that midfield area is some great experience, and obviously a former AFC Wimbledon player as well. There's a lot of those connections up and down the pitch, aren't there? Because if George Franklin was available, he's a former player of theirs.
Yeah,
obviously Ollie Palmer is up front for them today, so there's a lot of connections round and about the place. But it looks, missing some players. I think there'll be some raised eyebrows about Tom Nichols not being available today, and also Jake Hesketh, who I believe has gone back to Southampton for some treatment. But it still looks like a very good lineup on paper, doesn't it? Sadly, the game is on grass, and it might not be that good on the grass. Yeah. But it looks good on paper, and I think that's testament to the depth of the squad that John always talks about now, that you can still make
Carry on.
6 changes. 6.
Wow.
Today, from start to finish, has been carnage. We couldn't find this.
No one realises that 5 minutes before we were due to come on air, there was no show.
It's live TV.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
If there's sound issues, for once it's not Nick's fault. Carry on. You were saying about.
No, I was only saying about the depth of the squad, and you can still field an 11 that looks like it's very capable of putting in a performance here today.
I was going to add, I just think it's going to be interesting to see as the game develops. Neither team wants extra time. I wouldn't have thought today. No. I think with the games everyone's got and the games everyone's had and coming up, it'll be interesting if we've got 5-10 minutes to go and we're kind of locked in. I think the game will open right up. So I think if we've got, I know it's a kind of a young, inexperienced side, but I think if we can stay in this game long enough, I think they're going to have to start going for it. We'll start going for it, and I think as the game opens up, I think that will suit us.
They've made lots of changes as well, haven't they? And they've had a slight change of formation. They'll play through at the back. And when I went through the thing with the media guys from the Dons, and we got to the forwards, and they basically went, it'll be Piggott and Palmer up top.
And normally it's one or the other, isn't it, I think?
Oh,
that's what they said to me. Yeah, missing the chances that are being created. I was like, all right.
I saw an interview with after the Barrow game on Thursday, Ollie Palmer, and he said he was looking forward to it.
I think a lot of people would have seen this. We kind of all brought it up on the way here, and everyone, did you see the Ollie Palmer interview? And I'm like, yeah. So I think there's a little bit of something running underneath him, maybe, that he's going to really, really be after chasing the goals today.
Yeah. I think he will be.
He's missing chances.
I think he will be. But I think you're right, Harry. If Crawley stay in the game for long periods, there'll be some tired Wimbledon legs for the players that did play.
Sure.
And also, you've got to think that both of these teams have now only got a 48-hour turnaround before another league match for each side on Tuesday evening.
There are, more than any game this season, but there seems to be so many different elements that are coming
Lots
into
of
play.
little
So
storylines.
the fact that they played last week, obviously they're a league above us, so the fact that they played only a few days ago, that could be a bit of a lever. There seems to be loads of injuries. You've got the Ollie Palmer, Bournemouth, Fairman.
Exactly.
Like, there seems to be so many different parts of this game. It really makes for an intriguing game.
It looks like one of those games that is either set up for Ollie Palmer to grab a winner for them in like the 89th minute or something, or Danny Baldwin to get one of his goals of the season that I think he's won for the last 2 seasons for Crawley with in stoppage time or something like that. But if I'm going to put my head on the block, I'm going to be positive, and I think Crawley would do it.
Well, I think
we might have to go to the extra time, and I think maybe the odd goal in 3. I don't think there's going to be too much to choose between the two sides. I've got to be honest, and it looks like a wonderful surface to get the ball down and play on, and if Crawley get back to playing the way that we know that they can, which I don't think they've done in the last 2 home games, and get the ball to feet, and the likes of Powell and Hessenthaler impose himself on the midfield, and Ballman maybe as well, then I think we're going to be more than a match for the Dons.
Yeah, we spoke about the experience in there with Jake and Danny. It's going to be key.
Exactly, and Tunnicliffe coming back as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the central defensive area. And no disrespect to Joe Mack, he's done a great job in the games that he's played. But Tunnicliffe, I think, would be your first choice central defender, wouldn't he, to come and play.
The RC says it all, doesn't it?
And him and Craig had that great partnership before Jordan got injured.
Of course, absolutely. Well, we are going to hear very shortly from the commercial director from Wimbledon and get a view from the opposition today. Gary, I'll let you get back over to BBC, where obviously people can catch up with you on the BBC iPlayer, BBC Digital platform. So please, if you're going to watch the game, you'll hear Gary and of course Ken. Ken's been told he's not allowed to be biased, which I'm fully expecting that to be ignored. Good luck with that. Gary, thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you.
Cheers, Harry. After this very short break, we will have Ivar from AFC Wimbledon, who'll be coming to tell us a little bit about what's been going on here and get a view from the opposition. So we'll see you after the break.
Since 2017, £30 million has been lost to pension scammers. That's about 26,000 Premier League season tickets. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to defend your hard-earned money. Be on the ball to anyone contacting you out of the blue. Find out more about pension scams and how to avoid them by visiting our website.
So okay, we're just getting Ivar from AFC Wimbledon mic'd up. Nick's just working on that. So me and you were going to have to fill 30 seconds here, Harry. I can see. I thought I could see Erdem. We were hoping for Erdem and John. It's been a really weird. I think the stadium's still being built. It's literally you park in the building site. We couldn't find it. It's a really strange setup. You can tell it's not. It sounds like they're playing with the PA system as well. So they're still sort of getting to the gist of it. I think getting to and from different zones is interesting. Ivar, come and join us.
How you doing?
Ivar?
Good.
Yeah,
how are you?
Joe, nice to meet you.
How are you? All right.
So Ivar is the commercial director of AFC Wimbledon. How long have you been at the club, Ivar?
Well, it started in my little print factory over the road.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, way back in 2002 there. So I've been a Wimbledon fan since the early 70s, and very proud to be here at Plough Lane today.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
No, it's a pleasure.
You sort of got promoted into League One, didn't you, a few years ago? And it's almost like, because you bounced up the leagues very quickly.
Yeah.
It seems like you got to League One and you almost found your level, didn't you? For the time being, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But this year you've had a steady start to the season, about mid-table.
Yeah. We're mid-table. We're exactly mid-table, and it's been an interesting start because we could have won another 3 or 4 of those games quite easily, and could easily be in a playoff spot at least at the moment. So I'm not saying that we're not moaning where we are, but we could be a few points better off. But then we scored a late one the other day against Rochdale, and ebbs and flows in football, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously this is the first FA Cup game in your new stadium. It must be something you're really looking forward to.
Well, the whole club was built on FA Cup success. I mean, for those of you that go back away, the big match reruns on a Saturday morning are magnificent. And last Saturday they had our game against Leeds in 1974, where Dickie Guy, our current club president, was in goal, saved a Peter Lorimer penalty. You're too young to remember all of that, but at the time it was the most exciting thing in football. It really was. And he was the most famous man in the country for a couple of days. Sorry.
How much are you looking forward to taking the next step now and finally getting fans back in here? Because I think we were saying on the way up, this is the kind of game that would have been a sellout, getting the FA Cup
without
back
doubt,
here. And even I think from our perspective as well, whenever we've gone to AFC Wimbledon, I know we've got quite a small, loyal away fan group, but
they turn out.
They all turn out for when it's AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah, it would have been something else. You're very local to us, and it would have been a great local derby as such, because there aren't that many in the lower reaches. I know. Your local derby's Torquay or something. That's not even. Yeah, it's insane. The amount of travelling you've got to do in League Two. We had that in League One last year. There were no local games last year for us, and then all the right teams came up and the right teams went out the league, and it's much better this year. But it's very tough. So it would have been a great atmosphere, and we're desperate to get fans in here. But the stadium has been held up a little bit through COVID. We've got to do what we've got to do and get it right. And that's what we're doing. And when they come, they come. We've been in the wilderness for 30 years. Another couple of months, couple of weeks, ain't going to make a lot of difference, is it, really?
Yeah. And we've been talking a little bit earlier on the show about there's a few players on either side who have played for the opposite numbers. Obviously, we've got Danny Bullman starting, who obviously, I think, did he get promoted here? He
did. Danny Bullman was our engine room. And what a player, what a great credit to football he is, because he is some player, and
top bloke as well.
I'm delighted to see that he's still playing. I'm delighted to see that he's still doing well. My hat is off to him. He's amazing.
And obviously on your side you've got Ollie Palmer starting today. Obviously he was with us for a few seasons as our talisman. How's he started?
Well, he's just got himself fit really. So he's still got a little way to go in my opinion to get fully match fit. But he is a great character, as you know. He's a great character, always pranking around, having a laugh and a lark and all that. I've got some connections that go back a way with him and his family, so that's quite a good thing, really. So I think I'm only small, but I can keep Ollie in check.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
That's a pleasure.
Good luck for the rest of the season after today, of course.
Likewise, of course. It's lovely to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. I didn't mean to just bash myself on the ear.
Erdem Connie's going to join us. If you mind swapping mics with Erdem, whilst they do that, we'll go through that lineup again. That's slightly changed lineup from previous weeks. Glenn Morrison starts in goal. Glenn Morrison?
Glenn Morrison.
It's a stressful afternoon. Glenn Morris, Tom Dallison, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Tony Craig, Jack Powell, Danny Bullman, Jake Hessenthaler. Out wide we've got David Cisse and Nick Cerula, and then up front Max Waters and Ashley Naderson. Joe McNerney, Ricky German, Tyler Frost, Sam Matthews, Sam Ashford, Brian Gallack, Stuart Nelson on the bench. Just arrived here at Plough Lane is the top dog at Crawley Town. Second top dog, I should say.
Yeah, definitely.
Erdem, thank you very much for joining us. Have problems finding it?
Yeah, very well. I was very
it's like amazing. It appears.
Definitely got my steps in for today. I'll tell you that for nothing. But it's good.
Yeah, it's strange. It is strange. I don't know. We're going to have a little. We're going to bring in Travel Ken hopefully a bit later on if we've got time, and we'll have a little look around that Plough Lane. But yeah, really, really strange stadium. Almost just typical London, I suppose. It's built up everywhere around it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely stadium, obviously coming through, and it's good for the club through what it's been through. So hopefully, anyway, let's concentrate on today and hopefully
and concentrate on what we're doing. Some changes today are largely forced by injuries, I assume.
Yeah, but it's good to see Tunny back.
Yes.
Good to see Dallo in there as well. So hopefully that might set the tone for the future games. So that's the most important thing. But hopefully, let's try and get the points today. That's what we. I mean, not the points.
You don't get many points in the FA
Cup. Sorry. I meant the win. Let's get the win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And do you think? I suppose it's difficult. And John would always say, like, you look at the game that's in front of you. How is it? It's hard not to look beyond into the third round, isn't it? And think of the big draws you could get.
Yeah, we had that last time with Colchester when they got Man United. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days out of depression because it really hurts because it can change your fortune. Yeah. So once again, you are thinking of the third round and dreaming of the draw. But hopefully it's a 90 minutes and we learnt from that last year, and hopefully we can apply ourselves today and get back on track after Grimsby.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose let's touch upon that. We've had two quite disappointing results, haven't we, at home? Our home form has been I say it's disappointing. We've lost 2 games in a year at home, which I suppose makes it more disappointing when you do lose, because we've actually had good form up to that. We were good at home. We were picking up the odd point away from home, and then a week where we had two losses at home.
I think you have to look at it this way. Carlisle, I think we deserved to lose, but I think Grimsby, I think we were wasteful. I genuinely believe that. When we went 1-0 up, I thought it was going to. Probably the lads thought it was going to be an easy game, or they relaxed a little bit. But we had so many chances to actually dominate the game, but we didn't, and we have to learn from that. But we also have to remember one thing, and I'm not just saying this or making excuses, but we've drastically cut the budget this year to survive. Mm-hmm. So it's, on a smaller budget, we've done well. And obviously, I've always said, let's get to 50 points as quickly as we can. and then we'll see where we are when we get there. But we've lost big players as well. We lost a lot of goals, and thankfully Max Waters-Nichols have come in, and the new lads have stepped up. Tyler's stepped up, so it's a big year for us in the sense of creating that foundation to build on, and also sustaining our place in the EFL is very important for the football club, because we are, I'd say, a new club in the EFL. It's only been, I think, 8 to 10 years that we're in here, so we have to try and make that foundation and hopefully keep building, because Crawley is a fantastic club to build.
I was just going to say, we're no strangers to having League One opposition in cup games. I think we always seem to get done over a little bit in draws, but you look at, I think, Wigan, Bristol Rovers, we've never been blown away. We've always been in the games. We've always performed pretty well, I find, when we play against that step up of opposition. It's just maybe now that hopefully we've got the game in front of us where we can turn that good performance into actually taking a little bit of a scalp and taking away a team in the league above.
I hope so. Look, it's all about the day. Look, we saw how good Torquay were as well on the day. They took us right to the wire. I think in these games, or any game you play, it's about the day. 11v11, go out there, apply yourselves, and you're right, fine margins. Wigan, we went 1-0 up, and then we lost. Bristol Rovers, that time when the red card happened, we were comfortable in that game. And then unfortunately we've gone away and lost. So you're right, hopefully we can get the scalp. Hopefully.
Last question that I wanted to touch upon was Nick Cerula comes into the side. I don't know a lot about him. I've not seen much of him. I don't think many people do. Tell us what you know about him, what you're expecting.
It's a very skillful fullback, to be honest with you. Very, very comfortable at beating players, dynamic, up and down. Hopefully he can give us that element of surprise, because they won't know what he's about either. But he can really drift past players easily, and hopefully he can show that today.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to bring in John Barnett shortly. If you wouldn't mind switching mics with John. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game. We'll catch up with you later on. As I said, John is on his way in. He's just getting mic'd up. He's even brought his clipboard. Look, I'm sure he never had that when he was commentating. There's going to be another 23 minutes before kick-off of John reeling off stats. As I said, it was 23 minutes until kick-off. You can watch the game from home on the BBC digital platform. There's no iFollow today, so don't try and do your normal route that you would for league games, all on the BBC. So go to iPlayer or any other one. I think you can do it on the red button, but I'm not sure for certain. But yeah, worst case, iPlayer, BBC iPlayer, you can get the game and join Ken and Gary for the commentary of that. Ken is standing by, but first, big entrance, we have John Barnett. Long
overdue.
I tell you what, he leaves it a little bit late, so he gets the big entrance. Unbelievable. John, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, and we wanted to touch upon, we sort of got you in on our messenger and said, look, we want to look at the history, because obviously I go back a certain way, Harry goes back a certain way, you go back since about the 19th century, so I'm sure you've got loads of stats. Today's a chance to get to the third round of the FA Cup. We haven't actually done it that often in our history, have we?
No, only 4 times in the past. Only 4 times. This is our 9th appearance in the second round. We're 5th as a Football League club, as we know. 5 seasons in a row, didn't we, get knocked out in the first round? Amidst all the carnage of winning at Torquay,
to pop your mic up a little bit, John.
Amidst all the carnage of winning at Torquay 6-5, there was a small match that we actually won a FA Cup tie for the second year running, which was
I suppose
for us lately.
That's quite forgotten, isn't it? Because obviously previously I can remember us in the first, second qualifying rounds going to places like Flackwell Heath and Lymington and New Milton and places like that, and having to beat those sides to get to play Dagenham and Redbridge in round 1, that sort of thing. Whereas in recent years we probably actually underperformed in the cup in the Football League period, because you start in the first round, and to only in our history to have made the second round 9 times, I think at least 2 or 3 of those were. Before we were in the league.
3 of them would be, So 4 of them would be, So it's disappointing, as you say. Don't forget when we were in the conference for 6 successive years, straight in at the 4th qualifying round, 6 exits at the 4th qualifying round. So just got lucky, didn't we? In the not lucky, but we just got that game at Newport kind of broke the trend, and obviously it led to Old Trafford in the 5th round.
And I mean, I suppose on Old Trafford, we all know the difference a good cup run can make. Obviously, there's no crowds in at the moment, and when they do come back in, they're going to be limited, but. There are financial benefits, obviously, but do you think it's a distraction, the FA Cup this year, because of the lack of financial benefit, or do you think actually you can build a bit of momentum?
Well, I guess what you're looking for in the next round kind of changes, doesn't it? But you're right. You get to think, right, get easy ties as you can, get to the 3rd round, and then you want one of the big boys away to get the financial benefits from the gate. Now it kind of feels you almost want to keep getting the easiest tie possible just to get the prize money, or you get to the third round, if you draw Premier League side at home, then you're talking television money. So
Yes,
you're talking,
yeah.
the benefits of
Well,
being on television.
Chorley played Peterborough on the TV yesterday, and that would have been a big income.
Yeah.
for them.
Anyway, let's not beat around the bush, because something I want to get stuck into is this rivalry that develops, and I know you're keen on this.
I'll let
Barney.
you two do this, as I'm being professional as a member of staff.
That's fine. It's obviously there's an essence of it being a local match for us. But over the years, there's been a few storylines. We mentioned Kedwell's name earlier, and the T-shirts and stuff like that. So what have you got for us on the front of why this game actually means a little bit more if you're a Crawley fan?
Well, I think don't forget we played them in the FA Cup fourth qualifying round in 2009-10, and we talked about missed opportunities. Not free hits, but almost open goals to make progress in the competition, because we drew AFC Wimbledon at home, only drew 1-1. The away game, they had a man sent off. And they went on to win 3-1 in extra time, missed out on playing Millwall in the next round. So that might have just stoked the fires a little bit. But then it was the promotion season, wasn't it? It was because we were spending lots of money. We put in a bid for Danny Kedwell. They didn't like it. They produced those T-shirts that something money can't buy. I think one of their directors wore one in the director's box over his shirt and tie, which is pathetic, quite frankly.
This is excellent.
And yeah, they just didn't like the fact that we were spending lots of money, even though that's what they'd done all their way up to all the divisions, supposedly. Allegedly, we should say. But, and of course, Steve Evans loved it, didn't he? That's why he kept the team's feet
thrives on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He kept the team's feet on the ground all season. Said if we lose, there may be no despondency, and if we win, there'll be no stupid T-shirts. Getting that in all the way through that run up to getting promotion to the Football League. And then, to be fair, it kind of carried on the following season, because both sides made decent starts. So when we went to Kingston in October that year, I think we were in what would turned out to be a 7-game winning run. And even on that, I think their directors didn't offer our directors and officials a meal pre-match.
It got petty.
It got petty. And fine, if fans don't like a club, okay, I get that. Even rivalry between players, but at boardroom level,
like I am, keeping very quiet during this little segment of the show.
But I think even at boardroom level, you should have the class. They're your guests for the day. I think it was the directors that paid for their drinks as well. Didn't get offered a meal.
Really?
I think our directors ended up eating in Burger King. That's the story. But, so that's obviously because a lot of people don't know that. So of course, you go on social media and people, let's be honest, there is a element of the football fraternity that I think AFC Wimbledon could do no wrong. If you get on there and stir it up a bit, not that I do, you meet on there, and you sort of think people just don't know.
Right, so bottom line is, because I know you want to stop it.
The bottom line is Barney doesn't like AFC
Barney doesn't like AFC. But I think the general consensus of Crawley fans is getting a win here today would mean a little bit more than just beating a League One club and getting into the third round. There's a little bit extra. Plus you chuck in Ollie Palmer and Danny Ballman on top of that, and you've got yourself
Anyway,
moving swiftly on. I promised people a game of tennis, and that's what I'm going to give them. So we're going to play quiz tennis. Sorry, Harry, you're having to play. Basically, the way it will work, and then we're going to get Ken in to have a little look, and then we'll wrap it up before kick-off. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to ask a question, and you are going to have to keep firing answers back and forth like a game of tennis until one of you hesitates for at least 3 seconds, or repeats an answer, or gets one wrong. Everybody understand?
Yep.
Okay, Harry, you can serve.
Okay.
Question 1.
Nice.
Didn't actually think of the questions before I got here, so it could be quite interesting. Question 1. Teams in the top 4 tiers of English football beginning with the letter L.
Liverpool.
Luton.
Leeds.
Leicester.
Lincoln.
There's only 4.
Leeds, Lincoln, Liverpool, Leicester, Luton.
I didn't have any more, so there might not be
Oh,
any more.
sorry, Barney. You can serve this one.
I don't know.
Question 2. Teams that have won the FA Cup.
Liverpool.
Manchester United.
Manchester City.
Chelsea.
Tottenham.
Arsenal.
Aston Villa.
Oh, he's taking it.
It's over. That's 30 seconds.
Oh, that's
it's
the
one.
tip of my tongue.
Oh, it's 1-1. Okay, we
There
go
you
to a tie break. Ex or current England managers, Harry?
Roy Hodgson.
Gareth Southgate.
It's all over. That is one of the most embarrassing performances I've ever seen. John looks almost embarrassed to have won.
Sorry.
Which one of us works for Talk Sports?
No, I know.
It's terrible.
Well, I was going to say Southgate, and then I thought I was going to have the embarrassment of saying someone that was wrong. I don't know.
Well,
loads
to be honest, it was embarrassing.
I was dropped in it anyway.
We're going to have Ken on here very shortly to have a little look about playing. Like, good job.
one key stat for today.
Here we
that's
go.
in our
Oh,
favour.
go on.
This one I've been
Let
going to
him
get
loose.
on. We've never lost an away second round FA Cup tie.
We've never lost an away FA Cup, and hopefully that continues.
Hayes,
Ken, thank you very
beat
much
Swindon,
for joining
blew the
us.
Bristol Rovers. There
We're
we go.
going to bring in Travel Ken.
Cheers for that,
You
Joe.
need to swap the mic. Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Ken's going to come in. We're going to have a little look around the stadium, a new venue. Obviously, we say it every week, but it is true, and it's even more so today. One, because it's the FA Cup. Two, it's a new ground. It's a shame not to have fans in the ground, but there we are. Nick, I'm going to ask you to do the camera so we can have a look around. Ken, in you come. Here he is, the legendary Travel Ken. Didn't quite get the reception.
Do you like the mask?
Take your mask off. We have been told already live on air that we had to wear a mask. Ken,
No, I know.
thank you very much for joining us. We did this segment at Harrogate a while back and people seem to like it. We're at Plough Lane today. What do you make of the stadium?
Well, yeah, it's a lovely looking stadium, isn't it? Obviously, 2002 that they were formed. To get this far in 18 years, they've done fantastic, haven't they, really? And you see, as you probably see when Nick puts the, there's building going around all around the stadium. Obviously, this is where the old Plough Lane was and the dog track and everything else. So,
history lesson,
a massive site that's been obviously redeveloped. And I think the developers have put some money into the ground for the club, and fair play to them. I mean, they've come a long way, and obviously the first ever FA Cup game today at Plough Lane for the new team. So
AFC Wimbledon,
AFC Wimbledon. So
the thing I like about it is you get the modern stadiums like I know Rotherham and Doncaster. They built Coventry. They built stadiums which are almost too big for them. They couldn't fit.
Right, yeah.
This isn't actually massive, is it?
No.
But it's a reasonable size, but you'd expect there to be a decent atmosphere.
Yeah,
But I think.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, over, I don't know, Nick, I don't know if you can zoom in over there. One thing that is interesting about this ground, it's the first ground I've ever seen or been into with safe standing.
Yeah.
So they've got the rails on the seats there where when people are back in the ground, they'll be able to sort of stand and legally stand without stewards going, sit down, please. So that'll be interesting.
And they filled all the corners in as well.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to see this stand that we're in because this is obviously a massive stand compared to the small ones that are next
sort of
to
just above our heads is a number of hospitality boxes.
There's another two floors.
Absolutely. And just if we look here, this way, Nick, this way. If we look over here, over Ken's shoulder, this would be where the Reds fans would be this afternoon.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of cardboard cutouts. So this is going to be the away end where hopefully when the Reds play here in League One next year or in future years, this will be where the Red Army is housed. And a scoreboard in the corner. I don't know if you can see the building around us. It's very London. I mean, I've worked in London for a few years, and you'll find like a school like in the middle of some
it's a
big
shame really for them that there's no home fans or away fans here today, like to celebrate this match. Obviously, Crawley fans and Wimbledon fans look upon this as sort of being the local derby. But one time it was our nearest, and there's always a bit of feeling between the two sets of fans. And it's a pity there's none here today to create the atmosphere in this lovely stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. Ken, you've made it national on the commentary.
Well,
Who'd have thought it? Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit nervous, I've got to try to not shout, get in there every time Crawley score. If they score, that is.
I bet it doesn't happen.
No.
Well, if you could give a shout out to all my sponsors, Ken, that'll be great.
I won't be doing that either, but I'll say hello to Keith now. Thanks, Keith, for letting us use your minibus again. It's always good to ride, and also being on the sleeves today. So well played, Keith. Ryan Cantner Club.
I didn't even set that up, So cheers, Ken.
My mate Keith.
Ken, thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy your national stardom on the BBC. We'll let you go and join Gary, and I'm sure there'll be
See you later, Harry.
Cheers, Ken. That's it then from us here at Plough Lane. The players have just returned to the changing room, so there must be about 10 minutes or so until kick-off. Thank you very much for joining us. You can join Harry and myself at Colchester on Tuesday night, where we'll be bringing you episode 16 of Talk of the Town. But for now, all that's left to say is...
Come on, you Reds!
What a show! If you enjoyed it as much as we did, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you can be notified about when we are next live here from Talk of the Town. Make sure you don't ever miss an episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you again very soon.